Hello everyone. This is our project BudgetWise, a personal finance management system. And BudgetWise is a comprehensive personal finance management system that helps users track their income, expense, manage budget, monitor debts, achieve saving goals, etc. So you can view our project live demo at this website budgetwise.me, which is uh, like this one. So uh, you can enter our project by signing in or signing up, or you can also use Google sign in with Google. So also for local development, you can uh, run this project at local has front end at 3000 and 5000 port at for backend. Let us come to our tech stack. Our front end is developed with SvelteKit, which is a highly modern web framework for front end, and we're styling using a Tailwind CSS. And for a project building tool, we are using BUET. And for backend development, our framework is Node.js, and we are using database for database ORM for SQL. We are using SQLize for database ORM, and our database is PostgreSQL database. For authentication and security, we are using Firebase authentication. So if anyone wants to know our project architecture, here is our project architecture, which is user signs in with Firebase authentication, and it will goes to our front end. Then we have also used Nginx as reverse proxy, and it will forward to the request to our backend, which is running on 5000 port, and the backend will fetch data from our PostgreSQL database. So if anyone wants to run locally, here you can easily set up your environment. So you have to clone this repository, which is budgetwise.git, and you have to go to those this BudgetWise directory, and you have to set up the environment variables. So we have provided the example environment example, which is exactly our using, which is exactly we are using. So there are three environment files. One is backend, for another is one for frontend, and another is one for root project. So to run locally, you can use npm run dev for backend and npm run dev for frontend. And we have uh, this, like our project structure is like this, and we have fully dockerized our system. So if you don't want to run separately the backend and frontend and set up the database, you can use just one tool, which is Docker. By using Docker, you don't need to install anything. Docker will handle automatically the package, and it will containerize the overall application. So we have also created the full CI/CD pipeline for our this project. Uh, we can see this. We have separate Docker file for each uh, directory. Like we have a backend Docker file, like this. And this Docker file is set up for various various stages. Like you have development stage, you have test stage, you have build stage, and you have production stage. So also for our front end, there is also a Docker file which is exactly like the backend Docker file and containing the different stages. We have also Docker is the Nginx reverse proxy, which is given here. And now here comes to our full CI/CD pipeline. So for CI, we are now this CI pipeline will trigger when anyone wants to push the main branch or other branches, or pull request into main branch or other branches. So we have first set up the environment variables, and here we have like different jobs, like backend test jobs, front end test jobs, and Docker build, and the test summary. So if we come to each jobs, here comes the backend test jobs, which test our full backend directory. Here comes the services. So for backend, we need also Postgres database services. And here comes the setup steps for backend test. We will check out to our latest code and install the required packages, and then we will run our backend test. So it will finish, and here comes to our, then it will fall to front end test. Exactly, we are checking out our latest code, and then we are installing our front end dependencies, and we'll run our front end test. And if those tests pass, we are also doing some build test. We using Docker. We are building the backend front end images, and if those tests passes, it will come to our final test summary stages, and it will give our whole CI pipeline summary, test summary. So then it will automatically trigger to our CD pipeline, which depends on test suite. If it success, then if CI pipeline successes, then our deployment workflows trigger. So it will wait for CI to complete before deploying. So we are now deploying to our full production code to our VM. We are using Azure VM. It will run Ubuntu latest machine. And similarly, the steps are we are checking out to our latest code, setting up our SSH agent. It will log into our VM by using the SSH private key. And then here comes to our deployment stages. We will check out our main, we have checked out at our main latest code, and we'll go to our BudgetWise folder, then check out to the main branches and pull the latest code. And then we will first of all down the, if some container is already running, then it will down the container, and then again we'll build the all containers with no cache, and then it will up the overall cache, overall containers. And finally it will prune the images, so it will hold images to gain storages. And you can, and we will show the running configurations of the containers by using Docker PS. So lastly, after the full deployment stages passes, and it will verify our deployment. So you can also view our results like this in action step. We have successful test suite and deployment to our production. Like this, we are handling backend test, front-end test, Docker build, and then test summary. Here comes to our backend test. And you can see the output of backend tests, like which tests are passing and how many tests are passing and others like this. We have for 10 files and all the tests have passes 175 successful tests. For also front-end test, we have some front-end test files and like the budget here you will see the test outputs. And here we have our 4 file passed and all the 73 tests passed. So here comes the test summary, which is successful of the completion, successful message. And then it will automatically trigger to our deployment stages. Like this, you can here see the all the jobs like setup SSH agent, known host, and deploy to Azure VM and verify deployment. So if I show, then here you see the already checking out latest code and creating the front-end container or backend container, Nginx container, database container, etc. And finally, it will run our project and we will see our output in deployment. So thank you.